Hey there, dentist. Today I want to go over how to get 5 to 10 additional consults per week from highly qualified implant patients. So this is going to be marketing on autopilot for dentists. Before I kind of jump into everything, I want to show you that we actually got results for what I'm about to share with you. So these are the results that me and my former team have gotten for a dentist in New York. You see the top campaign here. We've been able to generate over 1,100 messenger conversations with potential implant patients. So each of the conversations coming to just under $2.50. You think about the cost per click on Google, especially in New York, it can be as high as $25 per click, especially for dental implants. So you think about being 10 times less than whatever Google was performing at. Incredible. So we've been able to generate 60 leads from just under $2,900 in ad spend. The difference here is we did some retargeting as well. I wasn't able to get it in the screenshot, but that's the difference there. Comes to just under $50 per lead on Facebook, which is exceptional. If you can get a lead for under $50 for an implant patient, you're going to make your money back. So today we're going to cover marketing principles, the ad, the system, and the follow-up. So we're going to show you everything that we did in order to generate these results. So first I want to cover the marketing principles. We're going to cover pre-framing, give before you get, and become the local expert. So in order to encompass pre-framing, I want to share a study that they did. So they did a study at MIT with 70 college students. They brought in a substitute teacher, but before they brought him in, they gave each of the students a biography on the teacher. Half of the biographies said that he was rather cold, half said he was rather warm. That was the only difference. So after the class was over and the substitute teacher taught, they gave each of the students a survey. So on half of the surveys, the student said he was cold, he was not engaged, he was a bad substitute teacher. On the other half, they said he was very friendly, very kind, and should be hired at the school. So the only difference was that the students were pre-framed differently. So you want to think about, how are you being framed as an implant dentist? Are you being framed in a positive light? Do people see you as an expert? Do they even know who you are? This is key, especially when it comes to marketing online. Another marketing principle to cover is give before you get. So you think about coming to Facebook, what do you want to get? You want to generate more implant cases, you want to make some more money. But when it comes to people that are on Facebook, I have a picture of a cat here. They're really just looking to be entertained. They're looking for pictures of funny cats. They're looking to see pictures of their friend's wedding. This is what they want, and this is what you want. So you got to be mindful of, how can you bridge the gap? How can you give people, serve them what they want on Facebook so that they can eventually come into your practice. So again, I have here a free consult. This is what you want. And what they want from their implant is confidence. So you need to be able to speak to them in the way that they're able to understand, and something that really resonates with them. The principle of give before you get, this is very important. Kind of to preface this, I want to say that leads do not act like referrals. Referrals come into your office, they already trust you because of the word given to them by their friend or even their family member. But leads, on the other hand, came to you through the internet. So you got to do a little more legwork when it comes to building that relationship with them. So there's a couple different ways to do this. You can connect with them, you can educate them, and you can offer more. So the way you connect with them is you can share more about your life, more about your story. Talk about where you went to school. Maybe you have fun hobbies that other potential patients are able to relate to. In terms of educating, a great video you can film is top 5 questions to ask your potential implant provider. Really educate the patient on what they should be doing. This really builds you up as an expert and authority figure. And then offer more. So think about how every other implant dentist in your region is operating, what they're offering to their patient base, and how you can out-service them. So the next slide is become the local expert. This is critical, especially when you want to be picked as the implant provider for people in your local area. So we have Google here. You think of someone that's looking for an implant, a dentist, or looking for an all-in-four half an arch, something like that. There's multiple dentists in the region that are able to provide that service. But on Google, it's text-based. Odds are they're not going to know any of the names of the implant dentists, so it's very confusing. Whereas on Facebook and Instagram, where these people hang out, if you go to them, if you show who you are, if you show what you're talking about by answering their questions, connecting with them, having videos, running ads, then when they come to Google to make that decision, they already know who you are and they're more likely to pick you. So now let's jump into the ad itself. This is Dr. Landry here on the right-hand side. Does an incredible job at what I'm trying to capture. So you want to blend in with your feed, but you also want to stand out among other posts. This is where a lot of dentists go astray, if you will, when it comes to really connecting with their audience. Usually they post a picture of a stock photo. They have just a picture of the implant itself, something that doesn't resonate, something that doesn't blend in on the platform. So people even subconsciously just scroll past it because they already know it's an ad. So you want to be careful on how you position yourself. You want something that's easy for someone to engage with, easy for someone to know what's going on. All right, so now let's look at the system. So this is everything from a 30,000 foot view, if you will. So we have the Facebook and Instagram ads over here. When someone's interested, they click on the ad and they go to ManyChat or Messenger. So this is a service that we use in order to generate the actual conversations. I'll get into this here in a little bit. And then from here, they submit their info. We follow up with them, and then they eventually become an implant patient. Some of the details with the Facebook and Instagram ads. In terms of the campaign objective, we're doing traffic to Messenger. So I'll show you kind of what that looks like here on the back end in a minute. And then for targeting for cold audiences, you want to pick your office's location, and then anywhere from 6 miles to 15, depending on the density of the area that you live in terms of population. In terms of the demographic, you want to pick women from the ages of 30 up. So now I want to show you what this looks like setting this campaign up on the back end of Facebook. So first you want to create a campaign. We're going to pick traffic, like I said before. Let's name this campaign Demo. And then if you wanted to, you can put a spending limit, and then we're going to hit Next. So this is where we're going to actually do the targeting. I like to name my ad sets whatever group I'm targeting. So we're going to say women 30 plus. In this section, you want to hit Messenger because this is our ultimate goal of where we want to send people. Daily budget 20 is a healthy budget in terms of daily use, if you will. If you're doing a retargeting campaign, it can be less. It can be anywhere from $1 to $5. Start date and end date, you can leave this blank for now. In terms of your audience, this is where you put the info of where your practice is located. So let's say, you put in your address here. Let's see. Let's just say your office is at the White House. And then this would be anywhere from 6 to 15 miles. This depends obviously on the population. So we can get away with 6 miles here. Age. We want to do 30 to 65 and then women. So now that we set up the campaign as well as the ad set or the targeting, let's take a look at what ManyChat is going to do for us. So this is behind the scenes for ManyChat. This is everything from a 30,000 foot view, one of my favorite things to say. But these are all messages that the potential patient gets depending on what they pick. And so we ask questions anywhere from, why are you getting implants in the first place? How much money can you put down? Questions related to essentially seeing if they're qualified in order to come in for a free consult. So from there, once they get through this entire process, at the very end, we're going to ask for their info in which they'll submit it, and then that's when we'll follow up. So now that we looked at Facebook ads, the back end on that, as well as ManyChat, let's look at how we actually follow up with these implant patients. In terms of follow-up, this is what I suggest to all my clients, is to invest in online scheduling. Local Med's a great option. I don't make any money for saying that. I probably should maybe set up some kind of affiliate thing. But This is a great software that you can use to set up on your website, as well as to have at the end of your ManyChat sequence so that you can schedule people online directly. One thing that's great for this is if someone finds your ad, they go through the entire sequence. It could be, 9 p.m. So your office couldn't be open. Even if they tried calling you, obviously they wouldn't get through, but they could still schedule an appointment because they have, their calendar ready, or that's the only time that they can look at their schedule. Or if, you're on your lunch break and someone wants to schedule, it's also a great option for them just to schedule online instead of you having to go back and forth, play some phone tag, and potentially miss scheduling them. The next tip in follow-up is to send automated follow-up messages based on how they answered the ManyChat sequence. So this is great because it allows you to create a little more rapport with that potential patient and get them to come in. Another thing to keep in mind is to send 1 to 3 reminder messages just over the next week in order to get that patient booked. Another key to follow up is retargeting. So I suggest you set up a Facebook pixel on your website. There are tons of videos on YouTube on how to do it if you're not too tech savvy, or you can just have your web developer do it. It's also important to run a retargeting ad for $1 a day to all your website visitors. So there may be a few people in there that are on the line. Maybe they have objections about the location or what it's going to be like. So I suggest running a retargeting ad about your office, maybe an office tour, answering any potential questions that someone could have before they come in. This is a great way to get someone that's on the fence and to get them over the line in order to come in. If what I said resonated with you and you want this system for your own practice, feel free to schedule a 15-minute call with me. We're going to go over your marketing situation, see if this is something that I'm able to implement into your practice and get you the results that I showed you at the beginning of the slideshow. I will have a link in the first comment to my calendar where you can schedule that 15-minute call with me and we can see if this can be a good fit. But until then, I'll talk to you later.